Hello everyone, my name is John. Today I will tell you how to set up an integration to transfer new leads from FormCrafts to Notion. This is necessary to automatically transfer new leads from FormCrafts to other systems. For example, in Notion you can add new database items and conveniently work with them in the future. Now let's move on to the setup. First, you need to create a new connection. Next, select the data source system, FormCrafts. Now, select the Get Data action. At this stage you need to connect your FormCrafts account to the ApiX-Drive system. In this window you can change its name or just click Continue. When the connected account appears in the list of active accounts, select it and click Continue. At this stage, you see the URL for receiving data. It is to this URL that new leads from FormCrafts will come. In order to continue setting up, copy the URL and go to your FormCrafts personal account. Next, select the form by which we want to receive new leads. Now go to the Workflows section. Add a new action. Select Webhook. Paste the copied URL from the ApiX-Drive system. Now you need to publish the changes. Next you need to send test data to the specified URL. To do this you need to fill out the form on the website. After successfully filling out the form, return to the ApiX-Drive system and continue setting up. At this stage, you can set up a data filter. In this case there is no need for this, so just click Continue. At this point, you see the data we just filled out in the form. If there is no data at this stage, try following the steps described earlier. If you are satisfied with everything, click Continue. At this point, setting up the FormCrafts data source has been successfully completed. Now you need to move on to setting up the data destination. Select the system, Notion. Then select the action, Add Database Item. At this stage you need to connect your Notion account to the ApiX-Drive system. In this window you need to specify the login and password of your Notion personal account. At this stage we provide access to your Notion databases. I recommend providing access to all databases at once in order to be able to work with them in the future. When the connected account appears in the list of active accounts, select it and click Continue. At this stage you need to select the database in which new database items will be created. Now, you see Notion fields for adding new database items. You can assign variables from FormCrafts to these fields. In order to do this, click in the field and select a variable from the drop-down list. Please note that you can use not only variables, but also enter values manually. To go to the next line, use Enter. When all required fields are filled in, click Continue. At this point you see an example of the data that will be sent to Notion as a new database item for each new lead from FormCrafts. If you are not satisfied with something, click Edit and you will go back a step. In order to check the correctness of the settings, click Send Test Data to Notion. After successful sending, go to Notion and check the result. If you are satisfied with everything, return to the ApiX-Drive service and continue setting up. This completes the configuration of Notion as a data destination. Now you need to enable auto-update and select an update interval. for example once every 5 minutes. That's all. I wish you successful integration settings and good luck.